All right, guys. Here, let me help you out with that. Today we're going to jump into parallel perpendicular slopes. Tell me what you know about parallel lines. They're what? Okay, they're straight. Okay, what else? Go ahead. Yeah, they're next to everybody. When you do parallel lines, show me parallel lines with your hands. Yeah, everybody does. Oh, whoa, one person actually went sideways. That was kind of cool. Everybody usually does this, right? We know parallel lines. What's the key characteristic of parallel lines? They never touch. Okay, what's the obvious one that everybody thinks about when they're talking about parallel lines? What's any obvious ones? What two lines that never touch? What is something in real life that is parallel? That's an obvious one. Well, I guess windows. I was thinking train tracks, right? Train tracks are kind of obvious. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about the definition of parallel lines. Maybe. Is this thing dead? Okay. Here we go. Parallel lines. Oh, because I had to change my attendance. All right. There we go. Parallel lines. Here we go. There's a lot of words on there. So if you're watching like somebody's absent or whatever, if you're watching online, it's a little bit closer than normal, just because we got so many words and the words are small. Okay, so I'm squeezing it on here. Here we go. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect. They never intersect. Okay, they always have the same slope. Okay, and I'll explain what all this means here in just a minute. Okay, same slope. You guys know what slope is. We've been dealing with that when we talk about linear, right? Rise over run. Yes? You guys remember that? Rise over run. And the symbol for parallel lines is just like you guys showed me with your hands. It is just straight up and down like that. Okay? Now, so we know parallel lines. Perpendicular lines are lines that cross or that intersect at a 90-degree angle. In other words, just because they cross doesn't make them parallel or doesn't make them perpendicular. They have to cross at a 90-degree angle. Okay, just like this right here. These are perpendicular. They cross at a 90-degree angle. Okay, just because they cross doesn't necessarily make them perpendicular. Perpendicular lines always have, here we go, opposite. Okay, opposite reciprocal. And I'll explain what all that means here in just a second, okay? Opposite reciprocal slopes. And the symbol for that is just basically an upside down T. Okay, it's an upside down T. Okay, what does opposite mean? What's the opposite of 5? Negative 5. What did you just do? Think about it. He just told me the opposite of 5 is negative 5. What did you just do? What changed? The sign. The sign changed. That's all opposite means. All opposite means is that you're going to change your signs. You guys with me on that? What's a reciprocal? Does anybody know? A reciprocal means that you're going to take whatever fraction you have, and please, this is easy. Please pay attention. This is not hard. You're just going to flip it over. That's all it is. Hey, if you flip over the fraction 3 over 2, what do you end up with? 2 over 3. That's a reciprocal. You just flip the fraction. Okay, and does that make sense? And so opposite reciprocal, we're going to flip the fraction, and we're going to what? Okay, we flip the fraction. That's your reciprocal, right? And then we've got to do what? The opposite. So we're also going to flip the sign. That's going to go from positive to negative or negative to positive. Okay? It's going to go from positive to negative or negative to positive. So we're going to flip the arrow or flip the slope, change the sign. Flip it and change it. Flip it and change it. All right, so what's the opposite of 2/3? 3 over 2, and then do what? It's a positive, so what's the new one have to be? Negative 3 over 2. Right? What's the opposite of positive 4? Negative 4, and then flip the fraction. Now, what is 4 as a fraction, guys? 4 over what? 4 over 1. So if I flip it, what is it? 1/4. So we got to make it a negative, right? Yes? Makes sense now? You're like, oh, okay. That makes a little bit of sense. Because think about it, okay? If I'm going to have two lines that are going to be complete opposites, I have to have one negative and one positive. There is absolutely no possible way for me to have perpendicular lines if they're both positive. Okay? It can't happen. Okay? All right, here we go. What about negative 5 or 4/5? What's the new one? Positive 5 over 4. Okay? Can I show you a little hint? If you multiply two reciprocal slopes together, your answer should always be -1. Okay? If it's perpendicular. If it's perpendicular, the way that you check it is if you multiply the two equations together, if you multiply the two slopes together, your answer will always be -1. Every single time. If you multiply these two together, 2 times 3, 3 times 2, 6 over 6, right? But one of them is negative. -1. It's always going to be -1. Okay? What's the opposite of +1? -1. Do I need to put a fraction on it? No, because it's 1 over 1, which is still 1. You just need to change the sign. Okay? What about 0? Now, here's 0 slope. What's perpendicular to that? This is the only one that's funky. What's perpendicular to this? This. What is that? Thank you. Say that louder. Undefined. There it is. Oh, I'm hearing it. That's good. Undefined. Do the last one just really quick. -1/3. Go ahead and just do it. I'll give you about 5 seconds. What'd you get? +3. +3. Good. Yep, I will. Thank you. All right, here we go. Now you're gonna see this quite a bit. Determine if two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, parallel, perpendicular, or neither. You're actually going to see this quite a bit. You're going to see it on tests. You're going to see it on like quizzes. You're going to see it all over the place. Okay, today you're going to take a quick check. You're going to see it on there. Is it parallel, perpendicular, or neither? All right, here we go. A line A is passing through the point by giving me this and this. First of all, it's giving me 2 points. How do I find slope if it gives me 2 points? Say it. Okay, everybody yawning. That was weird. Like 5 people yawned at the same time. That was actually kind of funny. Okay, we're going to stack and subtract them. So here we go. Line A is -3, 1. -3, -1, sorry. And then we've got 2, 9. Yes? Everybody with me? I'm just going to stack them and subtract them. A lot of you guys, were the mistakes I've seen when I was looking at some of your tests and stuff like that, or the way that you do things, you guys forget to put the parentheses in there. Look, if I forget the parentheses, which doesn't necessarily make it wrong, I'm probably going to forget to put that negative over here with the 9. It looks like it's just -2. Does that make sense? So I like putting the negative on the outside just so I can remember I got to subtract everything in that point. Okay. What's -1 minus 9? -10. What is -3 minus 2? -5. What's 2 negatives? +2. Okay, so I got one of them. Yes? Let's do the other one. 4, 2, and -1, -8, right? Somebody asked me yesterday, where'd you get these points? Okay, well, they're listed on there. I'm just stacking them. Okay, same thing. What is 2 minus -8? Calculator? Make sure you don't make any stupid mistakes. Always check your work. What'd you get? +10. What is 4 minus -1? What? +5. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. Do they match? What are they? Are they parallel? Are they perpendicular? Or are they neither? These are parallel to each other. These are parallel. I could have wrote it out, but I already told you the symbol is this. They're parallel. Everybody good? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. I'm gonna let you guys work on number 2 and number 3. Let's see if we can figure it out just really, really quick. Okay? Go ahead and go. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time. Pause the video, work on it, please. And go. All right. What'd you get for the first one? Okay, so let's see what we got. So we got -8, -5, right? And then we got 4, 4, right? I'm doing the first 2 points. -8, -5, and then 4, 4. Correct? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. What's -5 minus 4? -9. What's -8 minus 4? -12, right? 2 negatives make a what? And what is 9 over 12 if I reduce it? +3/4, correct? Okay. Everybody good? Always. So how do you check it on your calculator? Alpha y equals. Okay. Alpha y equals. All right, here we go. So we got -8, 4. Let's do the second point, and then we've got 4, -5. What's 4 minus -5? It's 9, right? Then we got negative 8 minus 4. That's negative 12. So now we got one negative. So my fraction is going to be negative, yes? What's 9 over 12 again? Negative 3/4. Okay, let me ask you this. Are they parallel? Do they match? Are they perpendicular? Two rules. Did they flip the fraction and did they change the sign? I see some no's. What did they forget to do? They did not flip the fraction. So are they perpendicular? No, they are not. Okay, they are not. So this one would be neither. Okay, think of it this way. If I multiply these two together, it's not going to be negative 1. It's going to be negative 9 over 16. It's going to be negative 9 over 16. That would not do it. Okay, good? Let's do the last one. Negative 5, 5. And 0, 5. Okay, I immediately see one characteristic when I did that. What just happened? What do you notice? The 5 and 5 match. If the y's match, what's my slope? What's 5 minus 5? 0. If I put anything else on the bottom, it's still going to be 0, right? So if the y's match, didn't we just take a test over that? If I told you if the y's match, it's always going to be 0? Yes? What do you notice about the second point? 2, negative 7. The x's match. Okay, so what's this slope? So I've got whatever number. So this is actually going to be negative 4 over 0. What is that again? Undefined. No, it's not 0. It's undefined. If the 0 is on bottom, it's undefined, right? So is it parallel? No. Is it perpendicular? Yes, it is. This one is. 0 and perpendicular are, or 0 and undefined are perpendicular. That's the only one that doesn't multiply to be negative 1. Fair? You guys, all right, tell me what you got. What is slope? What is slope? Same, or I'm sorry, what is parallel? Same slope. Okay, same slope. What is perpendicular? Sorry, misspoke. Okay, it is opposite, and you flip it. Opposite reciprocals. Okay, and they will multiply to be what? Negative 1. All right, here we go. So let's talk about parallel lines. Let's do this. This is actually, you guys remember using point slope form? I'm going to go through this kind of quick. Remember, it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You remember that? We just did it, okay? I know if you're like, if you don't have any idea what we're talking about, we just went through this, okay? So this shouldn't be anything crazy because we've done this, right? Parallel means same slope, agreed? So watch what happens. What we're going to do is we're going to find the parallel slope of the line that has been given to you. Parallel lines have the same slope. I'm not worried too much about the examples over here, the words. But you do need to remember that parallel lines are the same slope, okay? Same slope. So here we go. The equation of the line that passes through this point, there's my point, and it gives me, it says parallel to that equation. What did you just tell me that parallel meant? Same slope. So what's the slope of this equation? Negative 3. So if it's parallel, isn't my new equation going to be negative 3? I see a lot of nodding. You guys are with me. You're with me so far, yes? All right, so let's move. So we're going to do the y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And we're going to plug in just like we did before on the last test we just took. Focus for me. Focus for me. This is one of those things, if you don't focus, you're going to be lost. Okay, so here we go. Positive 2 becomes negative 2. There it is. X goes with x, y goes with y, right? 7 is now here. Positive 7 is now going to be what? Negative 7. Good. And what's my slope again? Negative 3. And you're like, okay, I remember this. Kind of coming back to you, which is good because you guys have another test on this, I believe, next week. It's the same test. Remember, you always do 2 of those? Remember the waterfall I was telling you was coming? Okay, that'll be next week. So we're still going to do this. What's negative 3 times x? Negative 3x. What's negative 3 times negative 2? Positive 6, right? Now I need to move this number. What's the opposite of minus 7? So I'm going to add 7 over here. So we've got y equals negative 3x plus 13. And we're done. Same slope, different y-intercept. That is the definition of parallel lines. Same slope, different y-intercept. Because if I stack my two equations, y equals negative 3x plus 1. The only thing that's different is the y-intercepts. But same slope means it's going to be at the same angle, which means they're going to be parallel. They will never cross. Fair? All right, do me a favor. I'm going to pause it. I want you to work on this second one. Let's see if we can get this one right. With your neighbor, if you get stuck, talk to your neighbor, see if you guys can figure it out. I want you guys to talk to each other on these. Why do I want you to talk to each other? Compare. Listen to me. If you help other people with these problems, it helps you to learn it a little bit more. Okay? Learn to talk to each other about these problems. If you can talk through math, that means you know it. Okay, and you can actually teach it. The more you talk about it with somebody else, the more you're actually going to pick up, I promise. Okay? So talk through it, work on this second one, okay? All right, what did we get? What equation did we get? Did we get one? What'd you get? I heard a lot of people saying that. Let's see if we're right. I'm going to do this. Make sure I'm not paused. Yep, I'm good. I'm going to do this fairly quickly. Okay, everybody with me? Y -1 plus 1 equals 4/3 because it's parallel, which means same slope, right? Whoop, no, not equals. X plus 3, right? I distribute, I get 4/3 X plus 4. That's what you should have got after you distributed. Yep. +1, when I move it, becomes -1. Yep, everything looks good. That's my little chicken scratch. Okay. Is everybody okay? Did I lose anybody? I went through that really, really fast. I want to make sure we're okay. Tell me. Okay, we're good. We're moving on then. Moving on up. Okay, where'd my clicker go? Where? No, my little thumb clicker. Yeah, my little thumb clicker. That's all right. I'll find out later. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this. Parallel lines. Would you agree that these lines are parallel? I want to give you a visual for this, by the way. Parallel line. Would you say that this is parallel? Yes or no? You would say that they are parallel, right? Okay, so let me ask you this. If I put it on a graph, would you tell me that these are also parallel? Hold on, let me slide them forward. Does that look parallel? What did I tell you the definition of parallel was? Same slope what? Different y-intercept. Would you say these have different y-intercepts? Okay, so let's find this slope real quick. I want to show you. If this is my point, here's another point. How many up? 1, 2, 3. So this went up 3, and then over how many? Up 3 and over 4, right? So my equation for this would be 3/4 x plus 2, because it crossed a +2. This one's 3/4 x what? Minus 1. I want to give you a visual to understand what it means. Same slope, but a different y-intercept. What if it was the same slope with the same y-intercept? It'd be the exact same line. It would just be the same line again. Okay? Everybody good on that? All right, here we go. Writing equations with perpendicular lines. Here we go. Perpendicular, same thing. It's the exact same thing, but you just have to take your slope and do what? Flip it and change the sign. So here we go. I'm going to set up the second one. Actually, without me even helping you, I want to see if you guys can walk through this, okay? I am going to go through a full example, but this class, I want to see if you can figure this one out without me helping you. It gives you a point and it gives you a slope, but it also says it's perpendicular. So you're going to do something to that slope before you plug it in. Fair? Talk to your neighbor, see if you can figure it out. I will come back and I'll do the entire question with you. I'm not going to chicken scratch this one. Okay? Go. All right, so we're going to see if this actually works because apparently my video stopped. I'm still talking. That's good. Is it possible to merge two videos in YouTube to one video? Does that work? It does. I don't know. I've never done that. So we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to see if I can do this because I got to merge two videos because the other one stopped. So sorry if it's confusing. All right, here we go. So we got perpendicular. So we've got y. What's my point is -6, 9, right? What's my perpendicular slope? -5/2. It's perpendicular. I took this slope, I flipped it over, and I changed the sign. Is everybody like, okay, I get that? Yes? See a lot of nodding? Yes? Izzy, right? Izzy, we good? Wake up. Tapper. Wake up. All right, here we go. Y, what's the opposite of positive 9? Negative 9 equals, my slope is negative 5 over 2, parentheses, what's the opposite of negative 6? Positive 6. Now I just solve. Nice. Is that what you got? Is that what you wrote down? How many of you are like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good right now? You're like in a good spot. Good, I like it. Negative 5 over 2x. When I distribute, I get that, and then I do this. That should be negative 15. Negative 5 over 2 times 6 is negative 15. You should have used your calculator. The way I did it in my head, I know that 2 cancels out. That's a 1. That's a 3. What's 5 times 3? 15. That's how I did it in my head. Okay? All right. Negative 9 becomes a what when I move it? Positive 9. It should be y equals negative 5 over 2x minus 6. Is that what you got? Cool. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to draw these lines just because I can. Fair? So the first one, positive 8. And my slope is 2/5. And because I'm out of room, I don't want to go up 2 more. I'm going to go down and left. You guys with me? Watch this. Can I go negative? What do 2 negatives make? So I can go down 2 and then left 5. You guys know that? Is that still positive? Yeah, that still works. Okay. Then the other one, negative 5 over 2x minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 5 over 2. I could go down and right, down 5, right 2, or I could go up and left, right? Because it would still be negative, wouldn't it? Okay, so watch. Up 5, left 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 2. Okay? And that's pretty, now it's a little bit off, but that looks pretty close to a 90-degree angle. Okay? Now, let me show it to you on like professional graph. Okay, so here we go. Remember our parallel lines? What did I say was going to happen to make perpendicular? What happens to it? The slope changes. And one flipped from a positive to a negative. So now I've got what kind of angle? A 90-degree. Remember this slope, what was this slope? Up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This one was up 3 and over 4, correct? This one is now, here's a point, and here's a point, right? Up 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4, and over 1, 2, left 3. Negative 4/3. It flipped and it changed to a negative. See that? Okay, so here we go. My first slope, they'd make a 90-degree angle. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. Here's my first angle, or my first equation. Y equals 3/4 x plus 2. Okay? This is our new slope, right? Check it out. Negative 4/3 x minus 1. Let me tell you this. This part right here doesn't really matter on either one of them. Okay? If you slide the lines up and down, like if you slid this one like this way and you slid this one this way or whatever, as long as the slopes don't change, it doesn't matter where you put them, it's still going to be perpendicular. Does that make sense? As long as the slopes multiply to be -1, they will continue to be perpendicular. Okay, that will not change. Fair? All right, I think that's it. All right, good. I'm going to give you guys a break. Tell me what you learned about parallel. They never touch. Same slope. What? Same slope, different y-intercept. Tell me about perpendicular. Good job reading your paper. He just read that straight off the paper. Okay, 90-degree angle, they cross opposite reciprocals. Okay, we'll give you a break and then I'll give you your assignment, okay? All right, see you. What, no clap today?